Have you ever noticed that people that doubt everything usually stay exactly where they are? Meanwhile, the people who are optimists, people who look at the bright side, they potentially change their entire lives. Today, I want to tell you to be delusional. Be as optimistically delusional as possible. Be whimsical. Be as wild thinking as you can possibly be, because that is the beginning of what will change your life for all of the positive things that can happen. What's up, y'all? I'm Jamai, and this is another episode of Manifesting Stardom. This is my journey to being the biggest star in the world, and you get to be a part of the journey with me. And so today I want to talk about just really being delusional, just really letting the cynics be right while the optimists win. So, cynics, they cloak their perspectives in wisdom, but it's really it's fear cloaked up in wisdom. It's really their fear. And so I think a lot of times we have to be careful not to look at everything so practical and look at everything from a data perspective, because we'll look at the odds being against us. We'll look at the unlikelihood of it happening because we're trying to innately protect ourselves. We are, as human beings, we are always going to go for comfort. That's how we're wired. That's how our brains and our minds and our nervous system protects us, is to go for comfort, go for peace, go for familiar. And so in order to really get to an elite life, a exceptional life experience, you have to go against the grain of everything that we are innately taught to do to protect ourselves. And so a lot of times people who are cynics, they justify things with data. They justify, I remember being a kid, and like even my family has a bunch of pessimists. Like typically my family, are just look at things, and for a lot of black families, we look at things from a survival perspective. We looked at things based off of what is the most comfortable and what's likely, and here I am coming saying I'm going to be a big star. It's like my family would be like, well, your chances are 1 in a million. You know what I'm saying? But over time, my diligence to continue to pursue it, they knew that I wasn't stopping, so they, always supported me. But I was even met with that growing up, just like, hey, well, you need to have a plan B. You need to, your chances of that are, because that's the world we live in, and a lot of times that is based off of our families and people wanting to protect themselves, and like maybe like my family wanted to protect me. So in order to protect me, they want to give me, hey, what the likelihood of this is, you should try this, you know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, if we want to live elite, amazing 1% lives, we have to be willing to be delusional enough that it's possible. And so the first point I have is cynicism sounds intelligent. It's fear cloaked in wisdom. It's supported by data. It's supported by what the likelihood of something is. That's what cynicism is factored around. A lot of people think negativity equals wisdom. They think doubting everything makes them mature or realistic, but usually cynicism is, just fear dressed up in logic. You know what I'm saying? And the scripture for that is, for as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. People will tell you your dreams are unrealistic because their mindset is limited. Cynics protect themselves from disappointment by never expecting greatness in the first place. And that is primarily what I was just saying. In order to never be disappointed, in order to never deal with hardship, you have to live at a baseline where it's hard to disappoint. You know, the bar is in hell. So, you know, if I can expect this low hanging fruit, this bare minimum, you know, life, I don't have to face disappointment. I don't have to face discouragement or embarrassment. You know, if I never post on social media, I don't have to worry about not getting likes. If I never put music out, I don't have to worry about the disappointment of people thinking that I failed or me thinking that I failed. If I never start a YouTube channel, I'll never have to worry about the embarrassment of not getting views. You know, those are the things that we subconsciously live our lives around and base things on. But ambition requires you to run toward disappointment. It requires you to run towards obstacles and possibility, because if you start a YouTube channel and your goal is to be monetized and create a community, that goal in and of itself welcomes the opportunity for failure. You can't accept the opportunity of success without accepting the likelihood of failure. And so once we become welcoming to the failure, once we become no longer intimidated by the failure, or maybe don't even look at it as failure, it propels us forward. And so, you know, when I started my YouTube channel, I said I'm gonna do 100 videos before I even expect for anybody to like or support anything. I'm at almost 150, and I still haven't really gotten the fan base or the community that I would like. But I'm 150 videos in, so I ain't stopping now. You know, I missed yesterday will be my third day, or no, my second day. It's my second or third. No, my third. Yeah, yesterday would be my third day of 2026 that I've actually missed uploads. And so I kind of like had a little, you know, a little pity party about that, because I told myself I would upload every day for the year 2026. But like I looked at it today, I'm just like, you missed 3 days, not even consecutively, but you missed 3 days in total of not uploading, and we're already 5 months in. You know, we're 5 months in, and that is a huge accomplishment. You know, some people can't even upload a video a week. I've uploaded 100 and whatever day the year this is, over almost 150 videos. You know what I'm saying? So that's the version of shooting for the moon and reaching the stars. You know what I'm saying? Like, still exceptional, still great. And I still haven't gotten the results that I want. But this is a part of the process. It's a part of finding what works, finding what's more comfortable. You know, these videos are extemporaneous for me. So I'm kind of got bullet points, but I'm also going off the top of the dome. So sometimes I'm stuttering, sometimes I'm repeating myself, sometimes I'm lagging or rambling, but that's a part of the cultivation of creating my brand and creating my channel and evolving and being humble enough to be vulnerable for you guys. You guys are part of this process. You guys are part of this process to see me get better at vlogging and see me get better at, you know, my studies and my aspirations. So it's all about welcoming the good and the bad. It's all about being delusionally optimistic enough to know that it's possible and to will the positivity, but not letting the fear of it not going well or you getting coming up against hurdles not be strong enough to stop you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to post a video where it's only 10, 15, 20 views. Like, I don't want that. I want at least 5 million views on each video. But I'm not going to let the fear of if I only get 10 views stop me from not doing the video at all. Especially if that video that got 10 views or the season of videos that don't get a lot of views are what's going to teach me how to get videos that are start 5 million views. You know what I'm saying? Well, YouTube, it's a long game. YouTube is you got to find your audience. Your audience has to find you. You're cultivating yourself. You're molding yourself. You're maturing yourself. And for me, it's very important that I continue to stay authentic to me. I continue to express on my channel the things that I value. So regardless if something is trendy, regardless if something is, popular, what is valuable to me? What is authentic to me? Because I don't want to find an audience that's supporting me and they don't really share my values, or they don't see my true core self. No, I want them to authentically support the authentic me. So the second point is optimism creates action. Optimism creates action. If you believe that you can do something, then you're going to do it. The only way you will do something is if you believe you can do it. Or you believe that it's possible that you could do it. Or you believe that you can maybe do it. That's the only way you can do something. I'm not going to try to lift up, put a big refrigerator on my back, because I don't believe I could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just things, you only do things based off of what you believe you can do. Optimists move differently. They apply, they post the video, they launch the business, they stay consistent even when results haven't shown up yet. I'm posting this video. I'm launching this business. I literally told myself that I'm going to start a shirtless bartending business, and I already have 4 gigs booked. Already have 4 gigs booked. Do I have all of her qualifications? Do I have years of experience? No. Do I know every super little thing that I need to know about bartending? I don't. But I started. I said that I could do it, and I'm doing it. I said that I could do it. I did the research. I practiced. I do what I got to do. I do try to put myself in the best position to set my business and my brand up. And here we are, making money, creating client relationships, getting great reviews. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. But you have to be optimistic enough to believe that you can do it. I'm in a space where I believe that I can run a bartending business, that I can get other employees to work under me to start making a passive income. And it's just that simple. So, the scripture says, faith without works is dead. James 2:17. How can you have faith if you're not working? If you don't believe something, if you're not working towards it, you don't believe it. You don't believe in it. You don't believe in it. You don't believe that you can do it. You don't believe that it's possible if you're not working towards it. It's just that simple. Optimism is powerful because it fuels persistence. Optimism fuels persistence. If you genuinely believe you can change, you'll show up long enough to actually give yourself a chance. And that's so true. The only way forward is by moving forward. The last point, most important point, is every great vision looks crazy early. If it don't look crazy early, is it really even that big? Is it really even, is it even really a dream? Is it even something that God gave you if it don't look crazy? It shouldn't look like you can understand every little thing at the beginning. It shouldn't even look like that. Shouldn't even look like that. Before success comes visible, it exists mentally first. It gotta exist up here first. So for me, if I want to have 200 million monthly Spotify listeners, that whole goal can't even exist if I don't see it up here. So that is going to contribute to my music, my work ethic, my business acumen, my branding, my logistics, my team, all of those things are what's contributing to me getting to 200 million monthly streams a month. I want 200 million monthly, not streams, 200 million monthly listeners on Spotify. That's what I want. So my actions, I start from the goal and then I create my actions behind it. So how do I do that? I need to release music. I need to create more awareness. I need to make more money. I need to release music. I need to have content. I need to have fans. I need to value my fan relationships. All of those things contribute to it, and the further and further back you go, you make the steps smaller and smaller and smaller. And so it's very hard. It's very ambitious. And do I know exactly how I'm gonna do it? I don't. But I'm doing all the work that I can to research, to figure it out, and to just try things. But you gotta be optimistic enough to believe that you can do it. Now, for context, maybe the top streamers on Spotify is maybe Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and they ain't even cracking 200 million. They're probably at like 140, 150, 120, you know. So I'm trying to get 200 million. So what does that look like? You know, I don't get 200 million, but I get 100 million. I get 150 million. I'm still eating. But the goal is 200 million. So that's going to form how I move and what the aim is. You know what I'm saying? You reach that goal, then you go to another goal. You know what I'm saying? And so I think every successful person sounded delusional at one point. You know, the difference is the key. The difference is that they kept believing after everyone else stopped. You know what I'm saying? And so the scripture for that is where there is no vision, the people will perish. You know, that's Proverbs 29:18. Most people cannot understand a vision. They cannot understand a vision they've never personally experienced. You know, so it's got to be in here first. You got to see it. You got to feel it. You got to smell it. You got to taste it. You have to want it in order for it to, you know, manifest. The cynics get to say, I knew it wouldn't work. You know, that's what I knew it wasn't going to work. I knew it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But the optimists, they are usually the ones building wealth, freedom, influence, and the life everybody wishes they had. But the only way they build that is by ignoring the negative possibilities and presuming the positive possibilities. So I ask you today, both of them are hard. You can live life as a poor person. You can live life as a successful, purpose-filled person. Which hard will you choose? If you go for the success, you're going to deal with failures. You're going to deal with embarrassment. You're going to deal with rejection. You're going to deal with lawsuits. You're going to deal with lawyers. You're going to deal with, that's what comes with that success. If you don't go for it, you'll be poor for the rest of your life. You'll be unfulfilled. You'll be jealous. You'll be probably out of shape. You'll probably be, you know, won't look as good as you could because, you know, you're not taking care of yourself the way you can. You might have fractured relationships because you weren't able to show up for people because you work in 10, you know, however many jobs. You know, you're struggling, you're stressed, you're sleep deprived, your blood pressure. All those things contribute to being broke and unfulfilled and unpurposed. All of those contribute. And so you can look at people that are, say, materialistic or wealth driven, but the bottom line is the most expensive thing to be is poor. You'll be paying with your health. You'll be paying with your time. You'll be paying with your relationships. You'll be paying with things you got to buy cheap stuff because you can't afford quality things. You're going to pay in every other way, in every other aspect. Both lives are hard. Choose your heart. You know, being cynical might protect you emotionally, but optimism might completely transform your future. So be delusional. Be optimistic. Let the pessimists be right while you win. I'll see you tomorrow.